time. So today we'll be looking at data entry. Last time we looked at data entry, but today we'll be looking at data entry and validation. So that's what we are starting with. Data entry and validation.
Okay.
By God's grace, we'll be able to finish it today. We'll be able to cover this one today so that we can focus with other things. Okay. So at any point you have any question, just call me back and ask me any question whatsoever. So last time we covered this stuff. We'll talk about the rows and the column. We said that each cell we say that each cell has a unique number, and we were able to identify those unique numbers. For example, this very cell now that is, let me make it red in color, has a unique number of E5. Has a unique number of E5. So and so does every other cell. Every other cell has a number, and that number is unique to it. So if you don't know the number of a cell, of course you cannot calculate them. So what we are looking at today is data entry and also validation. So under data entry, we're looking at how to enter data inside here. I could remember that last time we talked about the different types of data we have. We talk about the string data type, the integer data type, which is also number. We have the boolean, we have the float, we have the object data types, and then we have the undefined or non data types. And I was able to explain them that the video will be available to you this night. I need to add it to the class so that you can view the class, this thing. Alright, so let's look at data entry. Now let me do something that is very, very important. This automatic data entry. For example, in a cell, if I type 1 here, come over here, type 2, come over. Okay, let me expand this so you will see it very well. Okay, so I'll just expand it. Let me use font 20 for example. I'll just select everything here. I'll Control A. Let me have font 20 so you can be seeing it very well. Then I can use maybe RF black so that everything will go good, so that it will be bold enough so I can see it very well. So let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now I've entered 1, 2, 3 in this cell. I want you to pay attention now. Now this is A1, this is B1, this is C1. Okay, A1, because this is the row is 1 while the column is A. This column is B while this row is 1. So it becomes B1. Very, very important. Now I've entered 1, 2, 3 here, but I want this number to reach, let's say I want this number to reach 100, and I don't want to start typing this number 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. What do I do? I'll click on the first one, this arrow here. I'll drag this arrow here, drag it all the way to, let's say for example, O. Whoa, hold on. I'll select the 3 of them. Okay, I'll select the 3 of them, then drag this number from here to M or something. You see, it will generate the number to that. Now let me go back to how it was before. I want you to notice something. If I enter, for example, in this one, if I enter A here now, capital letter A, and I drag this, if you check very well, there's this 4 like cross arrow, something that looks like a cross. That looks like a cross, like there's a sign that looks like a cross like this in this cell. So if I go over here, that cross appears. You see, if I go out, it's normal, but once I go to this edge, it changes to that cross. Once it changes to that thing that looks like cross, I'll just click and drag. It will give me a duplicate of all those things inside it. Very, very important. Now the next thing I want you to observe is that I wrote 1, 2, 3 here. I'm going to click inside and drag. Now there is a big difference in a cell from clicking inside the box and dragging and clicking from the edge. If I click from the edge, it's going to change all of them to 1. You see, for duplicate, but if I click from the edge and drag from inside and drag, it means I'm highlighting. So I just highlight these 3 points, then go to the edge and drag to perform the function of multiplicating this. Let's drag it all the way to, let's say, V, and let go. So it's going to generate numbers between 1, 2, 3 to follow that particular format to 22. Let's make it more interesting. I'm going to do 1 here, I'm going to do 3 here, I'm going to do 5 here, and that's it. So I'm going to click inside the 1, make sure I select the 3, I'll go to the edge and drag it all over to somewhere here and let go. You see, it's going to be the repetition of that same number. So you're going to jump 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and so on. The same thing is applicable. If I come over here and do 2, come over here and do 4, come over here, that's even numbers now, 6, and then select here, then drag this. You see, it's going to actually do the same thing. 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. Okay, so that's how it works, and that's just the primary part of it. What if I want something like alphabet? I can do A, I can do B, and I can do C here. I can select the 3 of them. I can also drag and to give me A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D to somewhere there. Alright, it gives me a repetition of whatever thing I'm doing. Now look at this one. This one is interesting. I'm going to do Monday. Okay, now I need to expand this a little bit. Okay, I'll just expand this just like we did yesterday. I'll expand this, or let me leave this. Okay, let me show you something very briefly. So I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to create a new sheet. Okay, I'm going to create a new sheet here. From the new sheet, I can simply add a feature here. Okay, I can add a feature here. So all I need to do is come over here, this sheet, I'm going to click on this plus sign and I'll create a new sheet. Okay, so in this sheet I can actually drag it all the way anyhow I want to do it. Just drag it up, drag it up, drag it up, and so on and so forth until I'm satisfied with what I want to achieve. However, I think this is enough for this example. So I'll come over here. Okay, let's increase the font again so we can see it properly. Let me make it maybe 19 or 18 or something, whatever, you know, Arial black. Now, for the first one, I'm going to type Monday. The next one, I'm going to type Sunday. Okay, let's type Tuesday, right? Tuesday. The next one, I'll type Wednesday. Now, I'm going to drag into the 3 of them, and I'm going to go to the edge and perform this function. Okay, this one is called the quick analysis tool. Can actually use and analyze. Remember, we are studying data science and analysis using Excel. It says use this quick tool to quickly and easily analyze your data with some Excel's most powerful useful tools such as charts, color coding, and formulas. Okay, so that's what we're doing. This quick analysis tool, I'll drag it over to somewhere here and let go. You see what happened? It created Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These are the ones. So it started from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so on. Okay, so that is how powerful Excel is, and that's how powerful Excel works. Okay, so we need to understand the fact that Excel can actually do some things that are powerful, that are as powerful as this. Okay, can do some things that are as powerful as this kind of calculation, and there's so much more to this than just this thing. Okay, I needed to show you this so that by the time we enter into calculation, we'll see how fast we can actually interact with these calculations. Alright, I don't know if you have any question. Okay, so let's fire down. Alright, I'm going to create a very simple results score sheet. So we're going to create what we call CA sheet. Okay, with our marking scheme. Okay, let's not do the marking scheme. So let's just create a simple CA sheet, which stands for, let's call it a continuous assessment sheet. Okay, So continuous accession to it. What's the feature of this sheet? And this is going to be a result, a kind of a result management system for maybe let's say secondary school. Yeah. Okay. Let's use it as case study. So it's going to be a case study. Let me put this case study in another parenthesis. Okay. Case study of a primary school results management system. Results management system. All right. So we should be PSRMS. Okay, PSRMS. Okay, for result management system. So what are the features of this application? So one of the features of this application is that this application is going to be automated. Okay, it's going to be automated. The result marking will be automated. So automated result management system, RMS. So it's going to be an automated system for result manipulation or working. Then the next thing it's going to have is that it's going to be it's going to have the features of let's say it's going to give us the student average score. So we're going to calculate the average score. I can calculate the average, if I can spell average score. Okay, we're going to calculate total score, of course, total score. We're going to calculate remarks. So it's going to be either they passed or they failed. Okay, then the fifth one is that what can we have in the fifth one now? Of course, these are going to be coming from this the data. Okay, the data collected will be coming from, let me call it data collection. Data collection will be coming from the CA, continuous assessment, CA score, and exam score. Okay, do it from exam score. All right. So these are the features this tab is going to have, alongside with, of course, with the students and details. Okay, let's say students. Can I type students bio data? All right. So these are the things we're going to have. Let me save this sheet. Okay. So this, I'll just call it intro to data science. It should be part 2. Okay, it should be part 2. All right. So that is it. So saved, and let's fire down. Now I'm going to create a sheet for our stuff. So I'm going to get this is the second sheet, and of course you can rename any sheet. So I can rename this sheet. Right click on that sheet, and you can rename it. So you can even delete it, right? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to rename it to something very, very important. Or you know what? Let me create a new one. So new sheet, here we go. We'll have a new sheet. So I'm going to right click and call it results sheet, or we can even call it result management system, RMS. Enter, and then we'll have an RMS sheet. All right. So let's work on it. So to do that, we're going to set it up. So the first one is going to be the title, and the other views, I'll talk about the views later. You can have the different views, so I'll talk about the views later. All right. So we'll have the results view. So this view now is going to be where we'll have some stuff. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have some stuff here. So let's continue, and I will explain this. So what I'll do is simple. I'll open up here. let me see this first column. Okay, let me just merge this column. So I'm going to drag over here, let's say to this point or this point or this point, I don't know, maybe this point, and or let me do something first. Okay, let's say this should be serial number S/N, which is serial number. You know what, I would still do that Control A again. Control A, let's increase this font size so we can see it properly. So let's use 18. I think Calibri is fine, or let's use Times New Roman. Okay, yeah, all right. So this is that, and then let's say here we're going to have the student full name, or let's say names, which we know is going to be larger than that, right? So after name, okay, so our expand since his name, I'm going to I'm going to expand because it's going to be the student name. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to have here, let me have I can say student's ID, or okay, we can use the serial number for the ID. Okay, let's use the serial number for the ID, or let's leave it there. Well, I can have CA here. Alright, so here, apart from the CA that's here, we're going to have the exam score. Let's call it exam. And here we want to have average. Okay, we can't really even have average because we have only 2 scores. Okay, can't really have average here. So we'll have total. Let's have the total score. We'll do another one where we'll have the average. So but for now we can have the total score. Okay, and finally, what else are we supposed to have here? Total score. Then we'll have remarks, whether they failed or passed, that kind of a thing. So apart from total score, we can have the remark. Okay, so let's expand this. So this is CA, which is the exam score. Just expand it a little bit, maybe half of this. Then total score, let's make it half of that too. Then remark, let's make it maybe full of this. Alright, so this is what we have. We can now select the 3 of them, can now do some mede. So I mean, we can just clean it up or something. So I'm going to make it bold. We can increase the font size and all that, but I think it's fine like that. So I'm going to center it like that, and make sure I center it here too. Alright, so that is cool. So I'm going to add a caption for this. So the caption for this stuff is so before I do the caption, I want to merge these ones together. So to merge this together, I'll just go to merge and center, right click, drop it down, and simply merge and center. I can merge the cells, right? Or you can okay, on merge cells, you can merge the cells or merge the cells. So I'm going to just merge and center. So merge it and center, so it becomes one. I can actually type inside it. For example, I can say students results management system. Alright, so I can highlight that and then do whatever thing I want to do. Okay, and highlight that and do whatever I want to do. For example, I could change the color of the text to, let's say, maybe green. I think green is fine. I can make it bold. Can even increase the font size, make it much more bigger. Now it's so big that we might need to expand this particular one. So I can come over here and expand this. Yeah, and we expand it much more. Yeah, it's much better. So I can even select these 2 guys and give them a background color of that. Maybe that's shouting. I think this is fine, or can I just do something like this? No, that's the this is fine. I mean, yeah, I think this is fine. No, this is fine. Or maybe it's not fine. It doesn't really matter. You can even add image here, but I'll come to that in a minute. Can insert from here. Can insert cells and rows and all that. You can format, and there are so many things you can do. But let's go gradually. All right. So this is what we have here, and this is our results system. All right. This is our result system. So let's start populating the results. So this is going to be the student ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, let's say we have 10 students for now. All right, so the first name of the student will be, let's say we have Philip, Philip Augustine or something like that. You can have the second person to be Oliver, Oliver Michael or something like that, you know. And we can have somebody like Bush, you know, something Bush 3, I don't know. Okay, we can have Kettle, I don't know, any name, just think of any name. I'm just playing around here. Kettle Pot, something like that. Yeah. Okay, we can have Bubble or Body. You can also have Bookie, for example, Bookie Bounce, something like that. The name sounds familiar, like, as if it actually exists. I don't know. All right, so let's the next person we can have, let's have Tina. Cool. I don't know. Let's have another person of Samuel Timothy. Let's have Abel Chris. You can also have Salvation Praise. And then finally we can have, let's say we have somebody like Anointing. Why is this necessary? Anointing Church, something like that. Okay, yeah. So these are the names of the students we have in this particular class. Let's say this class is a class of let me mention this one too. Okay, let's say this class is a class of remember this is primary school, right? So you can see primary 6. Okay, yeah, primary 6. So that can be their class, right? There's this comprehensive class list. Alright, so we can have something like this. Very simple, very straight to the point. So let's say for CA is all over 30. Okay, CA is all over 30, but you know, someone can have between 0 to 30. So let's say this one have 25, have 18 or 8. This one have 19, this one have 13, this one have 22, this one have let's say 15, this one have let's say 12. Now this guy has 28, this one have 25 or 5, and this one have 20, right? Okay, so the sum is over 70 to make it a total of, that means this plus this should be over 100, right? So let's expand this in a little bit, just a little bit more. Okay, so let's say this person have 62, this person has 37, this person is scoring 40, or this person is scoring 45, this one is scoring 57, this one is scoring 29, this one is scoring, let's say 35, this one is scoring this is 68, something like that. This is scoring 50, this is scoring 58. Alright, so we'll have the CA of the students and we'll have their exam scores. Now I want to calculate their total score. I want to know whether they passed or they failed the exam. So how do you calculate the total score? Total score is simple. We use a mass function. In Excel, there are so many mass functions, which I'll explain in a minute. We're going to start with the sum function, which is just for addition. It's used for addition, to add. Remember, in our last class, I told you that a function will always have parentheses like this. Okay, in all programming languages, for the most part, most functions in all programming languages, not most, all functions in almost all programming languages will always have that stuff. So whenever you see a function like this, it becomes or this is actually a method because it's inbuilt. You know that it's actually doing something. In this case, it's doing addition. In fact, to summon a function in Excel, we add equal to sum. So we say equal to declare the function, to tell it that you're about to use a function. We'll now put the function, apply the parentheses, and put what's supposed to be inside it. Let's fire down. So to sum this 1, 2, and put the answer here, we go to that particular cell where we want to put the answer, and then we click on and then we click on this and go to FS, this effect. You can actually click on this effect and functions will come out. You see, this one is, you see, average. We have a lot of them: count, maximum, minimum, sign, cosine, and so on. So that is it. What we want to do is to sum. So I'm going to click on sum and I'll click OK. So if you look down here, you see that we have sum. We'll add the two numbers we want to sum, add all the numbers in a range of cell. Okay, so this is the first cell. So remember, we said that every cell must have a name. Now this particular cell is C4, and then this particular cell is D4. So we are summing between C4 and D4, and by default Excel is actually doing that for us, storing 25 plus 62. And if you want to do more calculation, you can actually do it from here, but this is okay. We just click OK and it gives us the total. So this is the total between this and this, and it gives us it. Now look at the function. Let's look at the function very well. So coming to our notes, so example of that function is something like this. So equal to, please sum this cell C4 and D7, then give us the total. So that's what is actually going on here. So now you might be wondering, are we going to type this thing for all of them? So this one too, I will come over here. I'll come over here and say I want to add this one. What have I done? I messed something up, so remove that. Alright, it's 7. So all I need to do is to place my cursor here. Remember the first thing we did to do automatic data analysis. I'll put my cursor here. Once the cursor changes to this color, drag this cross button, I'll simply drag all the way down and I'll let go, and it calculates all of us. You see, it calculates everything for Excel. We'll calculate everything using that same function. So if I click over here, you see that there's a function which is equal to sum something here. There's a function again here equal to sum something. There's another function here, and so on. So we're able to calculate the total function of this particular people. Now we can actually understand that, let's say, okay, I have 44 here. Let's say anybody that scores less than 50 failed the course. Okay, whereas anybody that scores above 50 will have passed the course. So how do we do that? You just pause the video and see if you can actually do that in a minute. Okay. So if E8 is greater than 50, so if E8 is greater than 50, we return a formatted test of pass. So else it should be false of pass here. Okay. Then we'll put comma again. So that should be it. Okay. So if I drag this thing down to this point, I have true, false. So this one is less than 50. So I have false. So if you have this one is, if it's above 50, we have true. If it's below 50, we'll have false, and so on and so on. Okay, so that is what I just did it this way. We have true, false, and so on. Okay. So I'll do comma false here. I mean fail. You enter too many arguments. Okay. So we can format this test based on that condition. So if it is true, we should have a particular test. So we can go to conditional formatting here. So under conditional format, you can actually highlight text. When set a new rule, can have icons here, can have color scale, can have data bar, top rules, and some other things. All right. So let me show you something quickly. Yesterday, in the previous class, I defined a function as a set of code or statements that are combined together or that runs together, and that they can be called repeatedly. You can call them repeatedly over and over again, and they are used to perform a specific function. Now, I want to look at it in this particular order. You know that in this Excel, in what we just did now, I just set a condition here.
I want to look at it.
In this condition, I use the test function. In this test function, what we did is to check the condition. Okay, we check if this particular value is. Can you off your mic? It's echoing. Okay, so if this
my mic,
you can off your mic so that it's echoing from here. You know how to off your mic now, right?
I don't really see the mic.
No, I'll off it for you. Where is it? Okay, I've seen your mic. Yeah. Okay, don't worry. I've offed it. Alright. So if you want to ask questions, just raise hand like this. Once you raise hand, I will know you want to talk. Then I will mute it. All right. So if we have this condition, so if this condition is true, it says true here. So if condition is false, it says false, and so on and so forth. All right. So let me redo this particular one so you follow up with what I just did. I'm going to delete this. So these are the scores of the students here. So all I want to get the remark whether they passed or they failed based on their score. So I put this thing here and I go over here and look for a test. You can actually use the FS condition, but I just use equal to. I'll use capital letter test, which is a function, because I told you that function will always have parentheses. So I just open two parentheses. I put the value I want. The value I want is actually if it's greater than 50. So if I have a value that is greater than, okay, sorry, if this is F4, okay. So F4, if F4 is greater than 50, okay, and that's the condition. Just press enter. Is that the condition? Okay, yeah, comma. Then we can have a test here. I can say maybe pass, for example. Okay, press enter. Why is it doing like that? I think I missed something. Okay, it's not F4, sorry. It's E4. E4. Okay, so if E4, not F4, sorry, I don't want to 0. So if E4 is greater than that, yeah, so have it. So it's true now, yeah. So if E4 is greater than that, we have a condition here. All right, let's format it better. What I could do is this. I will now drag this. Remember okay, you are not here, but then if you drag this guy down, it's going to work the same calculation. It's going to do the what we call the data analysis, automatic analysis for all these ones. You see, it's going to analyze all this one and give us the answer. So we don't need to write each and every one of these things one after the other. Once you write the first one, just drag this thing down and it gives you the result for the second one and the third one. And so even if it's 1 million, just drag all of them and it will give you the same condition. That is what we are saying. All right, so I'm going to just color this place, make it yellow, that it looks like this. All right, then I can actually center this test. I don't want it to be like this. I'm going to center it. So I'm going to go to center, and that's okay. All right, so this is what we have here as our result sheet. All right, now since we have this, we want to actually format this using conditional statements. Now in conditional statements, we say that logical functions are used to specify that's logical functions. So that's logical statements, that's conditional statements. They are used to their function used to specify certain conditions, okay, which or when satisfied make a cell take action based on those particular conditions. So you can actually format a test or a document based on the particular condition that is going on the system. Okay, you can format a cell based on the particular condition that is going on the system. Okay, which is very common in Excel because it's actually data analysis. During data analysis, you can easily, format a test and then still use it for whatever thing you want to use it for. All right, so that's conditional formatting. So we have the if function, which is a statement that is to be executed whenever a certain condition is satisfied. Okay, we have a lot of them. We have the equality sign, we have the greater than sign, greater than equal to, and some other things. For not equal to, so this one is not equal to. If a particular number is not equal to something, do a particular thing. Okay, so we're going to do a conditional formatting based on this. So these are the examples. You can say if a1 a2 is greater than or equal to b2, get the square root of a1 and square root of b2. Another one can say if c5 is less than b3, say good performance, else say poor performance. This is one we're going to use right now. We're going to use this one to do small calculation. So let's get into the practical section. All right, so I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete all this. They are off. Then we're going to redo the condition. So in Excel, remember, before you do anything, you have to say if. So you have to say equal to if. Okay, equal to if, which is a condition. Let's go back. Equal to if, which is a condition. You can open up and say if e, this is e, so if e8 is greater than 50, comma, what do we want to do? We want to put a value there. We'll make sure we put quotes. The value we want to put there is pass. So if it's greater than 50, it means they passed the exam. Else, it means they failed. No, that's not the meaning of fail. Alright, so that's the condition. Enter, and then this place passed. You see, this is passed. So if I drag this down, it's going to give me pass and fail and pass and fail and pass and fail. Okay. Then we can also have conditional formatting, whereby the ones that failed can be red in color, can actually color them red, and the ones that passed can be some other color and all that. So we're going to look at that in our next class. But for today, we have been able to get the total from the class. We're going to get their pass, their remarks. Okay, this should be remarks. Okay, their remarks from this total. So I want you to practice this and see if you can get this exact same table the way I've done it, and then you're able to do this condition and also do this condition. So we want to make it a very quick one, and then from tomorrow or from our next class, we'll look at more heavy stuff in data analysis using Excel. Thank you so much for joining us today. So same time tomorrow, we'll also be having another class right here. I want you to be part of it. Just watch these classes. Make sure you are practicing them. Make sure as you are watching it, you are opening your system, you are clicking, because if you're watching it, it might actually look too simple, but then when you open your system, actually get your hand dirty with it, you see that it's actually not that simple. Okay, don't mind me, it's actually very simple. So we'll continue from there tomorrow with conditional formatting. So we're going to continue from conditional formatting of text. Alright, that's what we'll continue from next class. So thank you so much for joining, and do have a lovely time. Bye.